Okay, so in this recording, I wanted to go back to the Truman Show thing, and I'm also going to cover like this new theory. But I may break them up into like two separate videos. I hadn't decided yet. So the Truman Show thing has been getting thrown around a whole lot. I think I had covered it in one of my earlier vlogs, and actually, the parallels between what was in the Truman Show and gang stalking are very obvious. So I think that the gang stalkers realized the fact that I didn't like the idea of being part of some sort of Truman Show, and they kept sort of trolling me with it. At least in the beginning they did, by constantly making a comparison. But honestly, there's no way you couldn't make a comparison. Like the comparison is obvious. I don't even have to really go into that. But I wanted to cover it again because I think I could cover it better now than I did the first time. So the Truman Show. All right. So first off, calling this the Truman Show is giving these people far more. It's actually making these people seem like they're better people than they actually are. They're being overly generous and friendly towards each other, or they're basically bullshitting each other about how they're handling this operation, like by making themselves seem like they're, I don't know, like the Truman Show is too good for these people. I think to say that they created a Truman Show, that's being far too fucking kind to these people, honestly. And I'm going to go into that. The Truman Show. Okay, think about the Truman Show. Like, think about this. Let's talk about the actual Truman Show, the one with Jim Carrey in it. How his life was set up. So Jim Carrey in this show lived a pretty damn good life. So I watched this movie twice. Like, I'm not his biggest fan. I watched it twice. Obviously, I started thinking about gang stalking. Well, last time I watched it and I knew about gang stalking, that's the first thing that came to mind. But I honestly was thinking, if I was actual Truman in that show, I probably wouldn't be this bitchy. I don't think I would be this bitchy. I think it would just, because in the end, his life wasn't bad. Like, he didn't have a shitty life. Because in order to, like, if you wanted to just like make reality TV, you don't have to be sadistic. So like, they weren't sadistic. Like the people in the show, like the creators of the show weren't sadistic. These people are sadistic. So so the point of the Truman Show was not to torture him, but to just watch him. The point of the gang stalkers is to torture you. These people are sadistic. So I was like, well, I think it's more the fact that you guys are sadistic than it would be whether you were just interested in my life. So the deal breaker was the fact that these people are sadistic. And they're sadistic. So I was like, well, I mean, I think Truman would have probably broke out that shit a lot earlier if you were sadistic towards him. I mean, like you started torturing them, which I was tortured. So they torture him. So I was like, well, to say that you created that when you're a antisocial psychopath and sadist, then like to say that that's what you did with the operation. And so Truman had a nice house, a beautiful wife, and he was an easy job, and everybody was nice to him. Go back and watch the movie. So everybody was nice. Like, I was watching it, the people were nice to him. Like, the people were nice to him. They let him make money. Like, he was making at least $100 grand a year. He had this big, nice house. He had friendly neighbors. Like, they created a perfect environment for him to live in. And they literally did the exact opposite with us. Like, they are literally the exact opposite. Like, they had thugs, they had like murderers and stuff. They'd be people trying to kill you. They'd be murdering animals, like they kill your cat. They'd be doing all this evil stuff, right? These people are complete psychopaths. Like, it's literally like if the Truman Show was run by a demon or a fucking monster or some shit. Like, and this is what I want to, so this is where I'm going with it. So, did they create a Truman Show? Well, technically, think about this biblically instead of thinking about it, worldly. So Satan is the ruler of this world, and he controls things, and he watches us, and he's sadistic, as in, where do you think sadistic, the term sadistic comes from? Satan, sadistic. The people who created the show, sadistic, as in Satan, when you say sadistic, which the people, all these people who are part of this quote unquote Truman Show, instead of treating us the way they treated Truman, they treat us sadistically, as in Satan. So they create an artificial bubble around them, and they're sadistic. Satan is in the name, which is why they are sadistic, because they are Satan's people. So sure, Satan creates an artificial world that is his world. This is literally his world, in which his demons or his demon people are watching you constantly. But that's biblical, which is why the people out here are sadistic, because they are Satan's people doing Satan's will. So when you're saying Truman Show, sure, you could just be like, Satan has people and his people are watching you and creating this horrible environment full of suffering and misery and threatening and, you know, wanting to kill you or killing your animals and doing all these evil shit. Everything about it is evil. They're sadistic, as in Satan. So still, going back to Christianity, that actually, it makes perfect sense. Satan is the prince of this world. These are his people, and Satan does watch us, and he has demons watching us, and he controls everything. And all that, the Truman Show comparison, not accurate, because the people are sadistic. All these people are sadistic. They're not nothing like they were in the Truman Show. They're not nice. They're not fucking making sure your life is pleasant and great just so they can entertain themselves. They're entertaining themselves off your suffering because they are sadistic. Therefore, you have to suffer. That's why they want you to suffer. Satan wants you to suffer. They're Satan's people, so they created an artificial environment in which they can watch you, so they can torture you in it. Control you, do bad things to you, and that's all they've ever done. And they're out there now, the people out here. I was like, sure, you created a Truman Show because you are of the devil, Satan's people, and you are sadistic, and you were sadistic throughout the entire show. But the point is that, yeah, they started worshiping the devil, and they became part of his collective consciousness, or whatever we want to call it that, when they sold their soul to the devil. And now they go through life torturing people. That's why all these gang members and stuff, yeah, they joined that. The worst human beings you'll ever come in contact with, the most antisocial. That's not a coincidence. So do you have to torture people in order to enjoy a real sitcom or enjoy watching somebody? Why do you have to torture them? Why do you have to make their lives unpleasant? Why would you want to do that? Unless you were sadistic. So you don't get past, saying this is the Truman Show doesn't get past the fact that these people are sadistic. Even if they created a Truman Show, they're sadistic. Meaning sadistic Satan. They hurt people. The thugs hurt people. The people out here hurt people. They like the fact that you're suffering. They could make it so you didn't suffer. They chose not to make it so you didn't suffer. They can make it whatever the hell they want it to be, really. Why do you have to suffer in it? Because they want you to suffer. They want to watch you suffer. That's the point. All these people, regardless of whether they created it or not, are of Satan, which is why they need you to suffer. Even if they created one, I used to say, well, sure, you guys could have created that. You are of the devil, and that's where your collectiveness comes from. That's why you created it, so you can watch me suffer, or at least control me, or whatever. But the point is that they create nothing but suffering within it. They've always been unjust. And, you know, that's how it is. So the fact that these people are sadists and they're getting off on my suffering means that it wouldn't matter if they were part of they created some sort of Truman Show or not. They're fulfilling their role as the devil's people. And that actually goes back to the Bible. You read the Bible and you say, yeah, sure, that makes perfect sense. If you made a comparison to Truman Show, evil version of the Truman Show, evil version with evil people in it, and Satan having power over all of us and control, being the prince of the world. What's the difference? So I'm going to go ahead and close with that, and then I'm going to cover the new theory that I wanted to cover that I just heard about. So let me go ahead and close.